All right, I'm going to give this a shot here. I've been meaning to start a weekly thing here and have a call-in show and do some things on this channel, and I've just been lazy. Not sure how this is going to go off, but we're going to try this. One of the things I thought, as far as a topic to start things off with, is as a guy, if you want to see your child and you can't see your child because the mother's being difficult, I'll tell you right now, if you are just have a brand new baby or you just got a divorce, you should see your child within a week or two. If you're not seeing your child immediately and you go to a lawyer and he's dragging it out for years and years and years, I mean, for months, get another lawyer. It does not take that long. You can do this yourself and you should be able to get right on this and see your child right away. Let's finish typing this up. Okay, so the problem with lawyers dragging things out and a week goes by, a month goes by, hell, a year can go by, 2 years can go by where you're trying to, is when you finally get to see your child again, they call that you've been estranged. Like even if it's not your fault, you're now an estranged father. And now you have to go and get counseling and have a third party review and spend time with you. You have to have supervised visitation. And you're sitting here going, why do I need all that? That's just ridiculous. Well, it's because you've been away from the child for so long. And it may not have been your fault, but that's what the courts think. Is like, oh, you're an estranged child. The child's been established with a mother. You're estranged. You got to come in. You got to be supervised. We got to check you out, put you under scrutiny. And it's a real pain and it's not right. The other problem you can have is alienation, where when you finally see your child, the child wants nothing to do with you. And that's not any fun either. So you have to try to rebuild and start over that relationship, start that relationship. This is stuff you don't need to go through if you see your child right away. And like I said, so if you get to an attorney and he's playing games, well, yeah, that's not going to work. So you end up dragging things on, and then you end up in a situation like I'm talking about here. So you don't want to have that. If the lawyer can't help you right away, get yourself another lawyer. Now, I will give you some pointers if you need to. If you don't have the money and you're not getting anywhere with a lawyer, you can't afford to keep getting a different lawyer. Here's some different ideas. If you have to do this yourself, what you want to do is go to the circuit court clerk, and you can do this while you're looking for another lawyer. I mean, you don't have to wait up. Go to the circuit court clerk, and you can find out where that is. It's in the main courthouse building. Tell them you request an order for parenting time, and you want a hearing before a judge. So they will give you like a form to fill out, and you want to make 3 copies. Let me pause this for a second. So you request the order for parenting time. You want to make sure you have 3 copies. One for the other parent, one for the court, one for the judge. And have this served on the other party. You need to provide proof of service. So there's a form that's a proof of service. And what I'll do, if anyone wants this, just state below, say, hey, I don't know what you're talking about, proof of service. What does this form look like? I have all these forms in a small little book I wrote years ago. If you ask me for this, I'll send it to you for free. No problem. And basically, this proof of service has to be notarized. So you got to take it to someone and pay them to sign. I mean, back in the day, it was $20. I don't know what it is nowadays. And then this has got to be provided. If you don't have proof of service that's notarized, then, they might turn around and just deny your request for a hearing. You want to attach the fee, along with back in the day, they had these little cards you had to fill out. Not sure what it is nowadays. Today, it might be actually all online. Wouldn't surprise me, but this is basically the things you need to make sure you have. And then also have an affidavit. If you guys don't know what an affidavit is just a sworn statement by yourself that, again, you should have notarized, kind of explaining your situation and basically asking the help from the court. So this is what you want to do. And you need to pick a date. Now, when you go to the court and you have all this stuff and you bring it to the circuit court clerk, they're going to have dates for when the judge is there. He's usually there like every other week. Find a time, it's in his calendar, and request a hearing for that date. Now, that hearing is going to be all on your paperwork too, your proof of service, your notice I forgot one thing there. There's a notice of when the hearing is. So you want to fill out a notice as well. Forgot that. And the notice goes to the other party or her lawyer. It basically says, hey, this is a notice. This is the time of the hearing. Here's the proof of service. Here's the affidavit. Here's everything. You get in front of a judge, and it shouldn't take years. And then you get in trouble, all these problems. And that if you knew this system, if you knew what I'm telling you right now, you can get in front of a judge in 2 weeks, not 2 years. These fucking attorneys play games. And I don't know what the deal is, why they do this, to make more money. They're on someone's side. There's a lot of games. And you cannot have this going on, and you don't need this going on. So basically, you can get in front of a judge in 2 weeks. So you need to get in front of a judge, and this will get you in front of a judge. They should be able to, if you're professional and nice to them. If you're missing anything, the ladies at the county court clerk's office will turn around and say to you, hey, you're missing this form, or you're missing this form. But if you've done this a few times, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll get in front of a judge, which is your main thing you want to do as soon as possible. Now, what you want to do, test, what you want to do. So in front of your judge, you finally get your day, state your case, say you just want to see your child. This is the situation. You're trying to see your child. And I mean, that's basically it. What's going to happen is he's probably going to refer it to the front of the court, he or she, which is going to do an evaluation, which is going to take months and months and months. So request, if you can, to not have to wait months. State that in an argument. Say, I don't want to have to wait months. I think it's important for me to not be separated from my child for this long a period of time. And they might require a DNA test. I said, yes, I would like a DNA test. If you request a DNA test, they can turn around and say, well, how do we know it's really your child, even though they have no problem taking child support from you? How do we know it's not your child, and yada, yada, yada. So, and it'll hold up the case. So say, okay, I'll get the DNA test done. If that's going to hold things up, I'll get this done right away this week. And then file another hearing in front of the judge. Get in front of him again in 2 weeks. Don't wait for the whole front of the court system. Go ahead and get back in front. Say, hey, I have my DNA test done. Front of the court stuff is still going on, but I want to see my child. Set up some type of visitation if that's what you want. Thing to do to share it with you all, to help you guys that if you were in this kind of situation. And you can do this without a lawyer. You don't know why you're trying to find the right lawyer. You don't have to. You can do this on your own, is what I'm saying. A lot further. So if you're in that situation, this is what you can do. Again, if you have any questions, text me, get a hold of me. Real quick here, I was going to number 4. So now, let's say you have this order in place and you're looking forward to seeing your child, and the mother no shows again. You don't know what to do. What you need to do is go back in front, and you call an attorney. I mean, you call the police or whatever, they don't care. They're not going to do anything for you. What you need to do is file something called an order to show cause hearing. And it's a request for hearing, exactly like what you've done before. But this time it says order to show cause. And it's basically hearing for contempt for the other parent for not abiding by a court order. So basically what you want to do is just go turn around and say, hey, this other party should be in contempt of court for not abiding by a court order. And something should be done about this. And basically attached to this, you want to do an affidavit. Again, with any records, maybe you've talked to the police during the time that there was a no-show or something, and include that in the report or whatever else you can think of. On this date, this time, and then this date, and this date, and then this date, and this date. No one ever showed up, and the order says to show up. And basically, this is going to turn around and get you in front of a judge. And if the judge is reasonable, he will enforce his orders. If the judge is reasonable. Not all judges are, and not all judges enforce their orders, which is when you run across that, then again, that's where you really need to have a lawyer, because you won't go anywhere at that point. But this is your next step, is you turn around to order to show cause for contempt. get in front of the judge, and then, when it happens again, go back another, go to keep doing this until hopefully the judge starts waking up to the fact that, hey, the person is not abiding by the orders. This is a problem here, and we'll threaten a change of custody and some things like that to hopefully get the other parent to abide by the orders so you can see your child. So that's what you need to do here. Basically, as far as the next step. So anyway, there's a lot more to this, right? Every week I'm going to do a chapter on some things I think that will help guys out. And there'll be a lot of different topics. This one in particular was to help you try to find your child, try to help you see your child if you're having issues with that, and things you can do. Of course, it's always best to have an attorney and find a good one. But if that attorney's dinking around and months are going by, go get another one. Go get another one. And if that's not going well, just turn around and do this. File the paperwork, and eventually you're going to. I recommend you get a lawyer, get further enrolling, and at least start to see your child, start building a relationship. If you already have a relationship with your child or children, you can get that going again right away and not be away from them for an amount of time. That should never happen. That should never happen. So, but it does. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys. Every week I'm going to put something out talking about something I can think of that will help you guys out. And if you have any comments, comment below, and we'll talk to you all later.